Okay, before we officially open the meeting today, I would like to start with a short video recapping Paulding Putnam's 2022 year. thank you to our great production team for that outstanding video. It is now my pleasure to introduce Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Steve McMichael.
Welcome to the 87th annual meeting of the Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative. I do call this meeting to order. Would everyone please rise and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I ask at this time that we all take a moment of silence to remember those who have left us in the last year, tragedy that's happened in our community, and ask for guidance. At this time, I would now like for each board member to introduce themselves.
My name is Joe Conan and I represent Board District 1. I serve as Vice Chairman.
I'm Bill Dowler and I represent Board District 2.
Hello, I'm Tim Dirk. I represent District Number 3.
I'm Bill Beckman, and I represent Board District 4.
I'm Steve McMichael and I represent Board District 5. I serve as the Board Chairman.
I'm Dr. John Saxton, and I represent Board District 6.
My name is Ken Neese, and I represent Board District 7.
I'm Adam Schnipke, and I represent Board District 8.
My name is Dr. Black, and I represent Board District 9, and I serve as Secretary Treasurer.
I'm George Carter, and I'm the President and CEO of Paulding Putnam Electric.
The official notice and agenda for today's virtual meeting was mailed to all members in the March Cooperative Living and Indiana Connection magazines, which were mailed on February 24th, 2023 and February 28th, 2023, respectively. The minutes of the annual meeting, held March 19th, 2022, were mailed to all members in the recent Cooperative Living and Indiana Connection magazines. As these minutes have been provided to all members prior to today's meeting, I will declare the minutes approved as printed. I will now call upon Dr. Ron Black, Secretary Treasurer, to give the Treasurer's report.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Black, and I serve as Secretary Treasurer of your electric cooperative. Thank you for tuning in this morning, either on Facebook or YouTube. Our annual CPA audit was recently completed by the accounting firm of Bayshore, Reineck, Stoller, and Waterman. They found all accounting records to be in order and issued a clean auditing opinion. I would like to thank our accounting team for another great job. Your cooperative faced another challenging year, but through it all, our employees did an outstanding job, and financially we ended the year ahead of budget. Increases in wholesale power cost, material shortages, and increased material prices were some of the challenges that faced our employees. Overall revenues increased from the prior year and from budget, due mostly to increased wholesale power cost adjustment of the WPCA charged on all our bills. This was because of the large increase in wholesale power costs from Buckeye Power. Power cost increased over $2 million from the prior year. As this is the largest expense the cooperative incurs, it has a huge impact on the financial condition of the cooperative and directly impacts members' bills. Overall, power cost increased nearly 7.5% over the prior year, with transmission being the largest increase. Transmission cost itself increased by 18% in 2022. Total expenses other than power cost were below budget by nearly $200,000. Additionally, we received a larger than expected capital credit allocation from Buckeye Power. Overall, total margins were $4.5 million and exceeded the budget by nearly $500,000. Plant investment, poles, wires, transformers, and other equipment used to bring power to your homes and businesses, less depreciation, increased by more than $4 million. Equity is strong at 62%. TIER was 4.17, and our rate of return was 4.5%. Line rebuilds and replacements continued in 2022. For the year, your cooperative invested nearly $5.5 million in these rebuilds for new services. Service reliability continues to be enhanced by these investments. The financial health of our cooperative is strong. The 2022 annual report may be viewed online at our website, or a copy can be obtained at the office. Any member wishing to view the annual CPA audit report may view a copy at the office as well. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the Treasurer's report. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steve McMichael. I have the great honor of being the chairman of the board of your electric cooperative, your trusted energy source, your partner in the community, Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative. Prior to giving my remarks, I'd like to introduce a short video presentation from Pat O'Loughlin, President and CEO of Buckeye Power and Ohio Electric Cooperatives.
Hello, I'm Pat O'Loughlin, President and CEO of Ohio's Electric Cooperatives. Welcome to your cooperative's annual meeting, and thank you for attending what is a unique and foundational part of our cooperative history in Ohio. Neighbors like yourselves coming together for over 80 years to bring reliable and affordable electricity to the homes and businesses in your community. Looking back on 2022, it was a year that brought many challenges. We saw extreme volatility in fuel prices. We saw high inflation for nearly everything we buy: fuel, materials and supplies, equipment, vehicles, wages, you name it. We experienced extreme supply chain disruptions that resulted in long lead times for electrical equipment. And finally, we experienced severe weather events that caused widespread grid disruptions. Ohio's electric cooperatives performed well at keeping the lights on, making repairs when outages did occur, and holding cost increases to a minimum. So while electric bills have increased over the past year, after several years of stable rates, co-ops across Ohio are taking every step available to keep costs as low as possible. In 2022 and 2023, our mission has not changed, and our commitment to you, our members, has not wavered. But the reality is that providing a safe, reliable, affordable, and environmentally responsible supply of electricity is getting more and more challenging. Across the country, we are facing disorderly retirement of baseload coal and nuclear power plants, stemming from poorly conceived and harmful energy policies. These include overreaching and unreasonable environmental regulations that result in high costs but minimal environmental benefits, poorly designed market rules that undercompensate reliable baseload power plants that provide a steady and controllable output, while overcompensating less reliable and intermittent energy sources. Also, unreasonable goals and timeframes to achieve greater reductions in carbon emissions are causing problems. I want to share with you our reality here in Ohio. As recently as 2009, Ohio had 21 coal-fired power plants capable of producing over 22,000 megawatts of electricity. Later this year, we will have 4 remaining plants and less than 7,000 megawatts of capacity. Many of the plants that closed had recently completed major environmental upgrades, only to be met with another series of more challenging and expensive environmental requirements. Some of these plants have been replaced with modern natural gas-fired plants and large solar installations. But we have greatly reduced our capability to produce electricity, especially during periods of severe cold weather like we experienced this past Christmas. On December 23rd to 25th, the grid operator for our region, PJM Interconnection, used all emergency steps available, stopping just short of ordering rolling blackouts to stabilize our regional power grid. Just to our south, in Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and parts of several other states, rolling blackouts were required to keep the system from collapsing. We've seen similar events in recent years in California, Texas, and even right here in Columbus, Ohio last summer. The integrity of our national and regional electric grid is at risk and will only get better if we make a change in course. Reliable, affordable, environmentally responsible power is our commitment to you, and you should expect it to be our government's commitment to you as well. Ohio electric cooperatives are making that known to our elected officials in Washington, D.C. and here in Ohio, with the help of our National Association of Rural Electric Cooperatives. Ohio electric cooperatives have launched our own statewide campaign that we call REAL, focused on the importance of reliable, environmentally responsible, affordable power for local communities. We are working to educate and inform not only cooperative members, but your neighbors and all Ohioans that reliable power and the integrity of America's electrical grid must be a priority. We ask for your help as cooperatives. This is what we do best. Come together for a common cause for the good of all. So I ask you, talk to your neighbors, educate and inform them. It's hard to understand or imagine the critical situation that we are in, and we've reached a time where something needs to be done. I'm sure all of you have heard the voices pushing for a carbon-free environment. Of course, we all want a cleaner world for future generations, and we're getting there, as emissions of all types have been reduced dramatically over the past several years. But we should not and need not sacrifice reliable and affordable power today. The history of your electric cooperative can be our guide. It was founded when neighbors working together to bring electricity to their rural community. Today, it's about working together to keep that reliable and affordable electricity on all day, every day, especially when severe weather hits your community. Thanks for your participation in your cooperative's annual meeting today and for your support to help us get this right for today and for tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. O'Loughlin, for providing that important message. Many of you may know me as the mayor of New Haven. Paulding Putnam's vast service territory stretches from New Haven and suburban Fort Wayne to the west and Ottawa to the east. Your cooperative works diligently to provide all of our members in Ohio and Indiana with affordable and reliable electricity. In our ever-changing world, the challenges are changing and growing. PPEC staff, management, and your board of directors are defying the norm and preparing for those future challenges, both known and some unknown. While you count on us to provide your electric service, being part of a cooperative is so much more. We live by 7 cooperative principles. Voluntary and open membership. Every individual is treated equally in all ways and given the same opportunities. Democratic member control. One of our focuses is on communication and engagement, including Smart Hub, Member Appreciation Day, social media channels, and more. Your cooperative is defying the norm. Members' economic participation. Since cooperatives are owned by you, its members, not shareholders, margins are returned to you. If you noticed, in your December bill, you received capital credits for your share of the margins accrued during your membership. In total, PPEC returned over $2.2 million to you, the members, in 2022. Defying the norm. We are not just an ordinary utility provider. Autonomy and independence. While PPEC is part of a vast network of electric cooperatives in 48 states and are members of NRECA, Buckeye Power, OEC, and IEC, our board representing you, the members of each district, creating policies and rates consistent with sound business principles. Education, training, and information. For member consumers, this means information on how to save money, increase energy efficiency, and update on changes in the energy environment. For board members and staff, this means ongoing training to make certain we are ready to serve not only today, but for the future. That's defying the norm. Cooperation among cooperatives. Simply put, the electric cooperative network relationships are collaborative, not competitive. When needed, we send crews to other areas to help when weather hits hard, and in return, others have helped us when we were in need. Concern for community. From parades to high voltage demonstrations, your PPEC is defying the norm. We are community. Here are a few great examples of how your cooperative, Paulding Putnam, defied the norm in 2022. In a time when small communities are struggling, PPEC provided the village of Ottoville a $360,000 USDA loan for industrial park expansion. This created a revolving loan fund to help other community organizations in the future. Once again, defying the norm. Despite many closed offices and automatic systems, our member service team was available 5 days a week. And with our partnership with CRC, after-hour calls are answered promptly and courteously. And of course, our line workers and operations work not only Monday through Friday, but they go to work when we take shelter. PPEC is here for you, defying the norm. Despite rising costs and inflation, PPEC member electric bills remain stable and provided excellent value for the cost. Average time without power for each member, excluding major events, was 47 minutes. That's power available to members 99.98% of the time in 2022. That's defying the norm. While many employees are leaving companies for new opportunities, PPEC strive for internal engagement and satisfaction, offering competitive salary and benefits, numerous employee perks, and 2 new recognition programs, the Ripple Effect Awards and the Rockstar Award. Your board is committed to a culture of safety and a culture of gratitude and support for the dedicated staff of PPEC. Again, defying the norm. Your cooperative is defying the norm every day. We are community. We are your cooperative. On behalf of myself and the other 8 trustees, thank you for being a member, participating in events like our annual meeting, and everything that you do to make the communities we live in and serve even better. Thanks also to PPEC management and staff for their commitment to serve you, the consumer members of PPEC. At this time, I would like to introduce Paulding Putnam President and CEO, George Carter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hello to all of our viewers. I am George Carter, President and CEO of your electric cooperative. I appreciate you taking the time to be with us as we broadcast our annual meeting. It is my honor, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity to serve as the President and CEO of Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative. I would like to start by introducing a short video of our 2022 Youth Tour student, Joey Snipke, in his recent trip to Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm Joey Snipke, and I was Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative's delegate to the Ohio Youth Tour in Washington, D.C.
Ohio's Electric Cooperative Youth Tour is a week-long trip to Washington, D.C., available to current high school sophomores and juniors.
So the first thing that we did was we went to Gettysburg, and that was cool to see. After that, then you go to Washington. There's like a bunch of people from every state there. It's not just Ohio. There are just a long list of things, like you go to Museum of Natural History, you go into a tour inside the U.S. Capitol. I think it's important for people to get to see the Capitol and just get to know like kind of the systems that are important to everyone. It was nice to get to know that like more of a personal level and just see like it not from like a distance and get to see it up close. A week after Youth Tour ended, I got taken off to basic training for the Air Force. And then after that, I had to go to training for like my military job, which was in Mississippi. Currently doing on-the-job training, which at the current base I'm at in Swanton, which that's not so bad. It's way more casual than the other two areas. Next 10, 20 years, I'd hopefully have some job either as a politician or working for a politician. And I'm going to go to OSU Lima, and then I'm going to OSU in the next spring year. So I'll have a degree in political science by then. I don't know if I'll still be in the military by then, but if I continue to enjoy my job, then I very well might. And yeah, don't really know the specifics of what's going to happen in 10 and 20 years.
Thank you, Joey, for that update, and thank you for your service to our country. The theme of this year's annual meeting and annual report is defying the norm. That is a perfect description for how 2022 played out. I'd like to just take a moment and review some of the highlights. One of the major highlights and biggest accomplishments of 2022 was our Member Appreciation Day event at the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. Over 2,000 members, families, and kids enjoyed a day at the zoo. Although the weather was not ideal to start the day, it turned out to be great, and everybody had a wonderful day at the zoo. A huge thank you goes out to our employees who planned and worked at that event. It was a huge accomplishment. I also want to thank the zoo. They were great partners to work with. And that is our future. We want to hold a member event like that each year. Now, I understand that many of you think the annual meeting has gone away, but I think it has gotten better. I think we've improved it. I think we've given more people an opportunity to learn and grow with the cooperative. And I hope to see everyone this year on July 22nd at the Paulding County Fairgrounds. Operationally, we had a particularly good year. Although our outage numbers were slightly higher than we would like, overall outage time was very good. This is a result of our line rebuilds, upgrades, our maintenance program, and our right-of-way program. This past year, upgrades were completed to our Antwerp substation, the Convoy substation, and the Columbus Grove substation. These improvements should help to safely provide reliable power to our members for years to come. All of our employees are stars, and everyone works hard for the membership. This past year, our employees were recognized with 2 national awards. The Spotlight on Excellent Awards are given annually, and PPEC was awarded a silver for our member appreciation event, the Dinosaur Movie Night. We also received a silver for the best video of our employees in action. These awards don't just recognize the great work being done by our employees, but they recognize our commitment to the membership, and I'm very hopeful that we will win this year for our member event at the zoo. So keep your fingers crossed and look for an announcement in the near future. I want to quickly comment on our financial performance. You heard our Secretary Treasurer give the financial report, so I won't repeat that. But I do want to recognize the board and employees for the difficult work they did this past year to achieve our financial goals. Budgeting during these last couple years has been very difficult. And our boards recognize that we have to do some things differently. Like pre-buying our material and committing to buy material in the future at a frozen price. By allowing us to lock in these future prices, the cooperative saved thousands of dollars. Our employees were committed to bringing the best service to the membership and to keeping costs down. In fact, operating costs, other than power cost, were below budget for 2022. That shows our employee commitment. Unfortunately, power costs have continued to increase this past year. We all felt it on our bills with a higher wholesale power cost adjustment, or the WPCA. Overall, power cost increased by 7.5%, which includes an 18% increase in transmission cost. Now, the transmission cost is the cost we incur to bring the power from our generating plant, like Cardinal, to our local substations, which is then distributed to your home or business. These transmission charges are the fastest growing part of our Buckeye bill. They now make up 23% of the Buckeye power cost. And Paulding Putnam is not unlike you and your business. We are faced with the same inflation problems, higher gas and diesel prices, shortages of needed materials, all the same things you face. Thankfully, our board and our employees work hard to maintain cost-competitive rates and reliable service. We've not included a rate increase in our 2023 budget. The cooperative will be conducting a detailed cost of service study later this year. This study will determine if future rates need to be adjusted. Keeping members informed is a key goal for the cooperative. Whether it's outage notification, trustee elections, or a rate increase, it's important for the membership to have all the information they need to understand the issue. This past year, we had 900 new enrollments to our Smart Hub application. This application gives members access to energy monitoring data, outage notifications, convenient payment options, and many more options. Also, options for custom alerts are available, including updates for upcoming events and youth opportunities. We now have more than half of our membership participating in our social media programs. I would encourage all members to sign up and use these important features. And also, speaking of youth programs, we've created a new youth program called Bright Futures. Bright Futures is a collection of youth programs and opportunities for both Ohio and Indiana students and educators, including scholarships, Camp Kilowatt, the youth tour, safety programs, and more. Look for more information on our website and our social media platforms. Each year, the cooperative employees take on a service project, which helps out in our community. This past year, Amy Waters spearheaded our service project assisting Clothes for Joes. Clothes for Joes is a nonprofit organization designed to provide clothing and essentials for our veterans. Amy's project not only assisted Clothes for Joes in opening their new facility, but she also sponsored a clothes drive here at our office. The clothes drive was so successful, we've decided to make it a regular event every Veterans Day here at our office. That is just another example of our employees giving their time to the community. Defying the norm certainly fits with our board, especially this year. The board faced many strategic challenges. I want to thank all of our board members for their efforts to make and keep the co-op strong. The cooperative absolutely defied the norm in 2022, mostly because of our dedicated employees that have a drive to serve the membership. I'm so proud to work with such a dedicated group of employees that put the members, their co-workers, and the communities we serve first. Chairman McMichael noted our new employee programs, the Ripple Effect Award, or the REA program, and the Rockstar Award. The REA program was started to recognize employees for the little things they do that are not part of their job description, but make a difference to our organization and our communities. The Rockstar Award is a peer-to-peer recognition program. The Rockstar Award was given out quarterly to an employee voted on by their peers for doing the little things above and beyond their normal workday. These awards highlight how our employees defy the norm every day. We had to say goodbye to several employees during the year, and that's always difficult. However, With change comes opportunity. This allowed several current employees to step up to greater roles and responsibilities. We brought in new employees to join our cooperative family, and we look forward to them having long and productive careers with us. We have a busy 2023 planned. We have another aggressive budget and work plan. I'm sure there's going to be times when we'll need to defy the norm. But as we have in the past, your cooperative and its great employees will face the challenges before them. Thank you. I'd like to announce the 2023 Scholarship Award winners. First is Laura Stoller from Wayne Trace High School, who was awarded a $1,000 scholarship through the Ohio Line Supervisors Association. Laura is the daughter of our employee, Kendra Stoller. Kayla Nartker, Kalida High School, was a first place winner of $1,000. Marissa Beckett from Ottawa Glandorf was also a first place winner of $1,000. Ellie Keene from Columbus Grove was a winner of $800, as was Hayden Mullen from Paulding was an $800 scholarship winner. Kayla Girding from Ottawa Glandorf was a $600 scholarship winner, and Brooke Earhart from Kalida was also a $600 winner. Jayla Utrup from Ottawa Glandorf was our at-large scholarship winner of $600. These scholarships are all judged independently through Defiance College, and we thank them for their support. I would also like to note that Kayla Nartker is the first place overall winner and will be going to Columbus to compete for statewide scholarships through the Ohio Electric Cooperatives. The 2023 trustee election results. Due to the Secretary Treasurer being up for election, I will provide the election results. This year, we do not have any proposed changes to our Code of Regulations. As is required, 3 trustee districts were up for election. District 1 with incumbent Joseph Conan, District 6 with incumbent Dr. John Saxton, and District 9 with incumbent Dr. Ronald Black were all up for election. All 3 incumbent trustees completed their petitions for re-election. No other nominating petitions were received. Pursuant to our Code of Regulations, Article 3, Section 2, which reads in part, in the event only one nominating petition being submitted for a district from which a trustee is to be elected, that member or nominee shall be considered elected by affirmation and no election shall be deemed necessary. Therefore, all incumbent trustees are hereby elected by affirmation. Congratulations, Mr. Conan, Dr. Saxton, and Dr. Black. Mr. Chairman, that concludes the election results.
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Conan, Dr. Saxton, and Dr. Black on their re-election to the Board of Trustees. I look forward to continue to work with them. Not seeing any old business, we will jump ahead to new business. As CEO Carter recently mentioned, every year we have to say goodbye to several employees. It's always difficult. And in his words, change comes opportunity, and this allowed several employees to step up to greater roles and responsibilities. We have really big shoes we're replacing this year. Current President and CEO George Carter will be retiring in April. Now, for those of you that have attended our past annual meetings, you may remember George as Abraham Lincoln or Elvis. George brought great things to your cooperative. George will be missed. George served this cooperative for 18 years as its president and CEO. In total, he served the electric cooperative system for 35 years, serving in Michigan, West Virginia, and Ohio and Indiana with Paulding Putnam. The Board of Trustees, the staff, all appreciate Mr. Carter's work over the last 18 years. Paulding Putnam is in a great position financially and operational. No doubt in part to the hard work of Mr. Carter and his leadership. But with change comes opportunity. I have the great honor at this time to introduce to you the members of Paulding Putnam's new President and CEO. Our new President and CEO is Randy Price. I've had the opportunity to know Randy for about 10 years. I talked earlier about the cooperative principles. Randy is one person that I know that definitely lives the cooperative principles. He gets it. He understands rural Ohio and Indiana. He understands the hard work of the members. He understands what being part of a cooperative family is. It is with great honor I introduce to you President and CEO of Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative, Randy Price.
Hello, Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative members. It is my honor and a privilege to follow George Carter, somebody that I admired and I considered a mentor during my career. And I am humbled to be joining this co-op to work for you, to work with the trustees, to work with the staff here, to put our members before ourselves, and to do good things in our community. I want to thank you for that opportunity, and I am looking forward to being a part of the community. Thank you.
As there is no further business, I will declare the 87th annual meeting of Paulding Putnam Electric Cooperative adjourned. I would like to remind all members to look for additional announcements on our member appreciation event scheduled for July 22nd. And thank you for joining us today.